Hey, parents and students, it's Mr. Swain. It's Friday. That means it's time for eNews. We got just a few things, not a whole lot to talk about today, and we'll get you headed to your weekend. First of all, I would like to give a shout out to our choir. Their performance that was featured at the State Board of Education in November was featured again last night at the Round Rock ISD board meeting. It was shown, the board members were impressed by it. Dr. Presley introduced it. In fact, they wanted to post it for everybody to see, but we've got some copyright issues. It means it can't be posted. But I was really proud of the kids, and every single time I watch the video, it gives me chills. So I'm really excited that our kiddos had that opportunity, and that Chisholm Trail was highlighted both at the state board and with our new district board. That was an exciting time for us. Also, on top of that, they had a solo contest with UIL. Choir did last week, I believe, maybe 2 weekends ago. Obviously, in this really crazy time that we're in right now, everything had to be done virtually. And so the kids sang the songs and submitted them. And we had 37 students across our choir program that received a superior rating at that contest. And I know Miss Nadiver and Miss Maddox are thrilled that their kids did so well. And we're super excited that many kids wanted to participate, even in the middle of this craziness. So we're really proud of our choir. Just like any of our fine arts, they always shine whenever that they get the opportunity to show out there. A couple other things. We have UIL academic teams. If you have not signed up for one of those and you would like to participate, there is a link in this eNews that you can see the different clubs or the different teams that are available, and then there's a sponsor for that team. If you will send that sponsor an email, that sponsor will get with you and get you hooked up with the information that you need. Many of our teams are going to be meeting during the asynchronous time of huddles days. So on A days during asynchronous time, they're going to start trying to work into there. Miss Getz's team, you will not hear from her probably until after January because she is out right now. But when she gets back, she will be getting contact with the folks that want to be on her team. We really encourage you to participate. Miss Gomez is leading that, and I'm super appreciative of her for taking the time to do that. It's above and beyond the call of duty, but I am excited that we're able to offer that opportunity to our kids, even in the middle of this pandemic. Also in this eNews, in the counselor's corner, there's an article, there's a link in the blog to an article about managing team stress. And if my house is any indication of your house, team stress is at an all-time high. My senior has a certain amount of stress on her because of senior year stuff, but I think it's compounded greatly through this the pandemic that they're living in, and excuse me, all of the things that they're not getting to do that they've always wanted to do and they've always kind of set up. And I know I heard from some sixth graders that same thing with not being able to use their lockers and being able to do stuff, and how it's not necessarily stressful that they can't do that, but it is disappointing, and that kind of leads to some anxiety and some stress with that too. I even had an eighth grader, a parent, share with me that he doesn't have anything to compare himself to right now because he's not here and he's not walking through the halls, and he knows he's gotten taller, but he doesn't have anybody to compare that to other than his brother, who's also gotten taller. So it's kind of hard to see how far he's grown. And he said he really missed the opportunity to sit in the bleachers during pep rallies. And for those of you who are new to us, our sixth graders sit on the floor, our seventh graders sit on the floor, and then our eighth graders get to sit in the bleacher. And it's kind of a rite of passage to get to do that. I thought it was interesting that was one of the things that he said that he missed right now, of not being able to be at school. I think sometimes we just need to listen a little bit more to what they have to say and kind of get their perspective on things. But if your kid is dealing with some of that stress stuff and you don't really know how to handle it, there's an article in there as well. The calming room is also in there still, a place for you to click a link to go to a web page that has a whole bunch of different ideas. My boss actually called me the other day and said, whoever put that together, they're a godsend, because my daughter has been having some of those issues, and she was able to share that with her, and her daughter said it's been really, really helpful for her. So, take advantage of that if you need that right now during this time, and we hope that resource is helpful to you. Also in this eNews, there's two other things I want to point out. One is Winter Guard. Round Rock High School's Winter Guard Round Rock High School's color guard director is Whitney Stone, and she is putting together a middle school winter guard. And the flyer that's in here is the same one that was in a couple of weeks ago, and it says their first practice was on November the 30th. They had 9 kids show up. If that is something you are interested in, her email is in there. If you will shoot her an email and tell her that you're interested, ask her for the particulars. She'd love to have some more kids. She's really looking for about 15 to 18 kids to participate, and right now she's got about 9. So if that's something that you are interested in, or you think your kid would be interested in as they move to high school. It's always nice to have a niche to fit into when you get to the high school. And if your kid's looking for that, that would be a great opportunity for them. Last but not least, and there's nothing in the eNews about it, but we still are exchanging computers. If you have a Chromebook that we provided you before and you want to switch it out with the new one, that would be great. You could come up to the school, just let them know you're here to switch it out, and we'll get the librarians are handling all of that at this point. I would also like to point out with the computer pickup that our eighth graders will be taking the PSAT come January 27th, and you do have to be at school to take that assessment. If that's something that we really want all of our eighth graders to do it because it's a good assessment for them to take to kind of give them a picture of where they are as far as college readiness. Then they can also create an account from there that links to Khan Academy that then it customizes a plan for them to study the things that their weaknesses are so that they can, as they get closer to taking the PSAT, what they'll take with us is the PSAT 8-9. It will help prepare them to take the PSAT as a junior, I believe, or a sophomore, and then the SAT as a junior. So it's PSAT as a sophomore, SAT as a junior, and it really helps kind of start them down that journey. But again, it has to be taken here at school. We will be sending out a survey once we get back from the holidays to ask how many parents want to send their eighth grader up to participate in that. But you will have to have a Chromebook to do that. And so we'll either give you a Chromebook at that point in time. And if you haven't checked one out before, we'll just let you keep that one until the end of the year when we get it back from you. Or if you have one, bring that one. We'll switch them out, and then you'll have your new one at that point in time to have. There was some direction given earlier this week from the Commission of Education. It looks like the STAR test is still on, but the accountability rating side of it is not, which I'm really kind of excited about. Not a huge fan of the STAR test in a grading sense for kids, but I do see the benefits of the test when it comes to kind of figuring out where kids are, and especially right now with the pandemic being and virtual learning and all of that, it will give us kind of a real good picture of where kids stand in relation to the standards that the state has laid out. And it'll give us a good idea of what interventions we need to put in place. And as we build master schedule for next year, how that will be impacted by those scores. But also it'll give you a pretty good idea of where your kid is based on the state standards for the grade level in which they're in. So if we have to take a test, I would encourage that we're using it in a diagnostic way as opposed to in a penalty way towards school districts or kids, holding them accountable to pass a test that we don't write. Last but not least, and I'll leave you with this, tonight is a football game at Round Rock High School. Quite frankly, it's probably the biggest game in Round Rock High School history. We are playing in the first round of the playoffs against Lake Travis. Lake Travis Cavaliers are ranked number 5 in the state. We are coming off a big win against Westwood. It is at Dragon, which should give us a little bit of a home field advantage. Lake Travis has not played in a month because they've been out because of COVID issues or whatever. So I told all my friends, if we're going to get them, we might as well get them now. So if you have nothing else to do tonight and you can get a ticket, come on out to Dragon Stadium at 7 o'clock, support Round Rock High School. We have a lot of Chisholm Trail kids playing on that team, and it's really exciting to see the boys as they come out and off the field and being excited about seeing our coaches or seeing myself be there, and it's really an exciting time for all of us. So that's tonight at 7 o'clock. I think the rain's supposed to be out of here, so the weekend's supposed to be really nice. If you don't get a chance to go to the football game, go out and do something fun with your family. There's lots of holiday lights all over the place. Put a little cheer in the whole thing, and I hope y'all have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.